we are going along with certain experiments based on photosynthesis. Here we are seeing the first experiment to show that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. So what is the aim of the experiment? Yes, chlorophyll is needed. Chlorophyll. Why this chlorophyll is needed? Yes, it is to track the solar energy or sun's energy. To track the solar energy, what is needed? Chlorophyll, which is the green pigment present in the plant. So this experiment proves that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. For this, you have to take a potted plant with a variegated leaf. What is meant by variegated leaf? Yes, see the example. This is a variegated leaf. See, these are variegated leaves. Another one I will show you. This is a variegated leaf. So, can you say what difference you can see from this one from the other leaves? Yes, here you can see some portion of this leaf is green in color, whereas the other portion it is pale yellow or somewhat cream in color. Okay, so such leaves, a leaf which has certain portion in green color, other portion with some other color is called as what? Variegated leaf. So you have to take a potted plant, and in that plant leaves should be like this. Okay, so this plant, this potted plant, you have to keep it in 48 hours in dark room. What for we are doing this one? Last session we have seen to de-starch the leaves. So in dark, when it is dark, you can say that whatever starch is in the leaf, it will be used up by the leaves. So for de-starching, we are keeping it in dark room for nearly 48 hours. Now you have to take out the plant and keep it in the sun. Okay, after de-starching for 48 hours, you have to keep the plant again in the sun. And now you have to take or pluck one of the leaf from that plant. Okay, and on a paper mark its outline. Just I will be drawing like this. Here the leaf is like this. Okay, so you can see the leaf. Here some of the portion of the leaf it is green in color. See, this like this you have to mark the green portion and the other portion you have to mark. And here you mark it like this. So this is what is green in color. Okay, this portion is what? Green in color. And whereas the other portion you can see that this empty portion in the blackboard you can say that is pale yellow or cream in color. Got it? So you have to mark this outline on a sheet paper. Now what you have to do? Afterwards you have to test this leaf for starch. So how to do the test for starch? Last class you have seen. What you have to do? First you have to take this leaf and then you have to boil it in water. Okay. So what for we are boiling it in water? To kill the cells. Then the leaf, the same leaf you have to boil in methylated spirit. So in a water bath, how you have done that in the yesterday? Yes, you have taken it in a test tube, you methylated spirit. In that you are adding this one, and the test tube you are keeping in the boiling water. That is the method. That is our bath method we are following. So that all the chlorophyll will be removed from this one. Afterwards, again you have to put the same leaf in hot water to soften this leaf. Okay, and afterwards you take this leaf and keep it in a petri dish, and then you have to pour some iodine upon this leaf. So what will happen after testing this iodine for this starch. Yes, you can see that this portion you have marked on the paper. So this portion of the leaf which was green in color already, that portion turned blue black indicating the presence of what? Starch. Whereas this portion turns into brown color. That means in that region no starch is present. So that shows what? From this experiment, what can you understand? Yes, chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, and when we kept this potted plant after destarching, that is 48 hours we kept in a dark room. Okay, so after destarching, we kept the plant outside. That time this portion, you can see the green portion of the leaf has chlorophyll, and using this chlorophyll plant prepares the food. Okay, so from this experiment we can prove that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Now the second experiment to show that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So second one, sunlight. So for this you have to take an ordinary plant, that is just like this. Any potted plant like this you can take, okay, with the green leaves. So first case we have taken the plant with variegated leaves, whereas here you can see this is full of green in color. So we can take the plant like this, ordinary plant we can take, and same procedure we have to keep it in 48 hours in a dark room. What is the purpose of keeping it in a dark room? Yes, for destarching. Okay. And after destarching, what you have to do? One of the leaf, okay, one of the leaf of this plant. Here, suppose this is the leaf. Say for example, this is the leaf. Okay. So a portion of this leaf you are covering with a black paper. You have to take a black sheet of paper like this. In this sheet paper, you can cut any design. Okay, say for example, round or star mark or anything. Say for, here you are just using that you are marking like this. Okay, you cut this portion. So this portion will be empty. Remaining portion will be in black color. Okay, remaining portion will be in black color. Now what you have to do, this paper you wrap this leaf, okay, a portion of the leaf you have to wrap it like this, and so you cannot see the leaf, whereas this mark will be there, okay, this mark will be there. So this portion what will happen, a sunlight will enter, whereas the other region, black color will not allow sunlight to enter. So here the remaining portion you can see that I will be marking like this, that will be fully covered with black paper. Okay. So this is the empty portion. Clearly you can see. Now after doing like this, so in one of the leaf only we are doing like this. Okay, so one of the leaf we are doing like this. Okay, after covering with a black sheet of paper on one portion of the leaf, what you have to do? Again, keep the potted plant in sunlight for few hours. So the same plant, after fixing this black sheet, again we are keeping it in the sun for few hours. Okay. Now you have to pluck one of this leaf, the leaf which is covered with black paper. You have to pluck it. Okay. Now you have to test it for starch. Once more, how to test for the starch? Yes, first you have to boil this leaf in water. Okay, boil the leaf. What is the purpose of that one? To kill the the cells. Now you have to boil this leaf in methylated spirit or a water bath so that all the chlorophyll will be removed and the leaf become hard and brittle. Now again you have to take this leaf and then put it in hot water so that this water will become, this leaf will become soft. Okay. After this you have to take this again from the hot water, keep it in a petri dish and pour some iodine solution on this one. So that is the test. Now after doing this test, one change you can see in this leaf, only this region, that is this is the leaf, the same leaf I am drawing, okay, the leaf which have this portion is there now in that black paper we have cut certain region. So this region only will turn what? Blue black in color. So this region blue black, whereas this remaining region, so this remaining region will it turn blue black? No, it will not turn blue black. What does that show? It shows what? The presence of starch is not in that region. Okay, so the presence of starch is not in that region. So that shows that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So in this region only what happens? Sunlight enters and thus you can say that photosynthesis takes place there. Okay. So this is an experiment to prove that sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So two experiments we have seen. First one is chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Second one, sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Third experiment shows that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide. So this is one of the raw material needed for photosynthesis. So we can carry out this experiment. Same case, we have to take a potted plant and we have to de-starch the leaves. How to de-starch the leaves? Yes, the same procedure, 48 hours we have to keep in dark room so that whatever starch is there, it will be removed or utilized by the leaves. So the process of de-starching by keeping it in a dark room. Okay, now insert, so suppose this is a potted plant, pot is not showing here, half of the leaf into a conical flask and it should be closed with a split rubber cord. So a conical flask, so the conical flask will be like this and the here it is closed with a split rubber cord so that half the portion of the leaf, suppose like this. Okay, so we are inserting half the portion of the leaf into this conical flask and the conical flask contain what? Potassium hydroxide. We are keeping little potassium hydroxide in this conical flask. Okay, KOX means potassium hydroxide. What is the purpose of keeping potassium hydroxide in the conical flask? Yes, if any carbon dioxide is present in the conical flask, that will be absorbed by what? Yes, by the potassium hydroxide. For that is the purpose of keeping potassium hydroxide in the conical flask. Okay, always remember you don't pluck the leaf. The leaf should be intact with the plant. Okay, the plant should be there. In the plant only, you don't pluck the leaf or don't cut the leaf. Leaf should be intact with the plant only. So you have to arrange the apparatus like that. And now after arranging this one, what you have to do? Keep the apparatus sunlight for few hours. So for few hours you have to keep this same apparatus in the sunlight along with the conical flask. You have to keep it in sunlight. Then after few hours, what you have to do? Pluck this leaf. You have to pluck this leaf and you have to test for starch. What is the procedure? Once more we can recollect. So the leaf first we have to keep in boiled water so that all the cells will be killed. Then you have to boil it in methylated spirit over a water bath to kill the chlorophyll. Now you have to keep again in hot water so that the leaf will become soft. Afterwards, take that leaf and keep it in a petri dish and pour iodine to that leaf. So what will happen when you are pouring? You can see that this leaf which you kept like this, say for example, this is the leaf and here half this portion, this much portion will be inside the flask and this portion was outside the conical flask. Okay. So here you can see that this portion will be turning what? Blue black in color, whereas this portion will be turning into brown color. So this blue black color which was outside, that means see this portion will be which is outside the conical flask, that turn into blue black color. That means from the atmosphere this portion of the leaf or here this portion have taken what? Carbon dioxide and photosynthesis it has done. Okay. So whereas the other half which was inside this conical flask, there is lack of carbon dioxide because whatever carbon dioxide was already in this flask was absorbed by potassium hydroxide. So there is no chance of carbon dioxide inside this conical flask, and so this portion which is inside this conical flask will not turn blue black, showing that there is no starch in this carbon dioxide is not taken up and it has not synthesized the food. So this experiment shows that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. So in another way, the same experiment in an improvised way, we can say that you take a bottle, same thing, you can say that a bottle like this, it should be closed with the what? A one-fold core, and through that you have to pass a leaf. Okay, like this you have to pass a leaf, and the petiole of the leaf should be immersed in a beaker containing water. Okay, it should be in water. And the same experiment if you are proceeding, you can say that the half portion will be, what happens? It will be turning blue black, showing the presence of starch. That means that portion photosynthesis has taken place, whereas the other half here we are same way we are keeping what? Potassium hydroxide we are keeping. So here there is no presence of starch because carbon dioxide is absorbed by potassium hydroxide. So this is another experiment. Now another experiment to show that oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. So you have seen that glucose is produced plus carbon dioxide, oxygen and water is produced. So oxygen is produced during photosynthesis. With another simpler experiment we can prove that one. For this one, you have to take a water plant or an aquatic plant which grows in water. So say for example, hydrilla. So you have to take a beaker. First thing you have to take a beaker and fill it with what? Water. Okay, this beaker should be filled with water. Now you have to take a funnel. Funnel means a structure like this. See, Usually you will be pouring kerosene and all now. So this is the funnel. Okay, so a glass funnel you have to take, and what you have to do, insert that water plant inside this funnel. So you have to, in this is in a correct position, you have to invert the funnel. Okay, so funnel should be like this. Okay, and here you are inside this, you are keeping this water plant. Say for example, hydra. Okay, so inverting this water plant inside this funnel. So automatically in the funnel also what will be there? Funnel also will be filled with water. Now you have to take a test tube and invert that test tube upon this one. Upon this funnel. Test tube we are inverting. We are inverting the test tube upon this funnel. Okay. So automatically what you can see again, in this funnel also water will be filling. Okay. So this is the setup. This is the experimental setup. Now what you have to do is, you have to keep this apparatus in sunlight for few hours. Okay. So because sunlight here also is necessary for photosynthesis inside the room, don't want to keep, you have to keep it outside in the sunlight for few hours. After few hours, one change you can see. Yes, you can see that in this test tube, here some gas is collecting from this test tube. Some gas will be coming and collecting on the top portion of this test tube. So we are thinking that that is oxygen. How we can prove that that is oxygen? You bring a burning splinter near to this gas, it starts to burn. Okay, this glowing splinter burst. So that shows that that gas collected in the test tube is nothing but oxygen. From this experiment, we can prove that oxygen is liberated or given out during the process of photosynthesis. Here this water plant, in presence of sunlight, what happens? It starts to prepare its food or it starts to photosynthesize. So here you can see after photosynthesis, the gas liberated is oxygen. There is no way to escape. So through the stem of this funnel, it will be coming out like this. It goes to the test tube and collecting at the top portion. Okay. So there is no other way to come this oxygen. So this plant photosynthesize and thus it will release the oxygen, and that oxygen is collected at the test tube. So from this experiment we can prove that oxygen is released during photosynthesis. So here we have seen these four experiments on the lesson photosynthesis. Four experiments we have seen, all are easy one. First one, chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Second one, sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Third one, carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, and then oxygen is released during photosynthesis. Now, what is the importance of photosynthesis? So, as you know, due to photosynthesis only, plants prepare the food and the entire living world. You can see all the animal as well as the plants, including human being also, depending on these plants for their food. In two ways it depends. One way directly it depends, and another way indirect way. But whatever it is, you can say that plants are only producers because they can only produce the foods by trapping the solar energy. None other thing. You can say it cannot trap the sunlight or they cannot synthesize the food. So two ways, how this direct way, you know, when a herbivorous animal, say for example a deer, a rabbit or a cow, when it eats the grass or leaf or plant part, it directly depending on these plants for their food. Whereas how we can say in an indirect way, say for example a lion. Of course you may wonder it eat only meat. Okay, but how can it depend on grass or leaves for food? Yes, if it eat a deer, it says herbivore, that deer want to survive means what should be there? Plant should be there. Yes or no? Yes, plant should be there. So that's the way of indirect way of depending plants for food. So is it clear? So food chain also you have seen in the previous classes and all, that what is meant by one is eaten by the other, that is eaten by the other. Like that a chain form it is going. So eating and being eaten. That is a food chain. So always a food chain will start with a producer, that is a plant. Say for example, say plant, grass. Okay. So this is a producer because it is green in color. So this grass is eaten by what? Okay, a grasshopper. Grasshopper, a simple food chain I am showing. Okay, grass is eaten by a grasshopper. Grasshopper is in turn eaten by a frog. Okay. A frog is in turn eaten by a snake, and snake is in turn eaten by an eagle. A small simple food chain I am showing. Okay. So this is a simple food chain. Here it starts with a producer, that is nothing but grass. Say another example of a food chain. Yes, the same plant. It is eaten a small food chain I am drawing. It is eaten by a deer. It is in turn eaten by a lion. This is also another example of a food chain. So whatever, whether the food chain is a long one or whether the food chain is a short one, always it will be starting with a producer. Okay. And what about the non-green plants like fungi and bacteria? They obtain their nourishment from the death and decay of these plants only, isn't it? So they are also depending on this producers. So first thing is that the importance of photosynthesis is that due to photosynthesis, plants provide food to the entire living world. Second thing is that it provides oxygen. So you can see that life sustaining gas or life supporting gas. What is that life supporting gas? It is nothing but oxygen. So this oxygen you can see that in the atmosphere it is present, whereas you can say that a large amount of oxygen is released into the atmosphere by plants during the process of photosynthesis. So including plant and other animals also use this oxygen for their respiration. So these are the two great importance of photosynthesis. One thing that it provides food to the entire living thing. Then again, and second thing is that it gives oxygen which is necessary for respiration. And coming to the last part of this chapter, that is carbon cycle. So you know the carbon cycle, the carbon is one of the essential elements needed by all living organisms. In a cyclic way it is rotating, and how it happens, let us see. So that carbon dioxide, 0.03 percentage of carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere. So first we can show that carbon dioxide in the, where it is present, in the atmosphere. Okay, atmosphere. And what the green plants will do? Green plants will trap this carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So here you can put an arrow mark. Here green plants. Okay, green plants. And here the process what takes place? Photosynthesis. Okay. green plants, they trap this carbon dioxide for photosynthesis and they will prepare the foods. And these green plants, again you can say that during their respiration, what happens? The same a small amount of carbon dioxide will be going back to the atmosphere. Okay. Then these green plants are used by consumers, means animals including human beings use this these green plants as food. Okay, consumers as what? As foods. Okay, consumers, that is, it may be other animals or human being. And these other animals and human being, when they respire, what happens? Yes, they give out again what? Carbon dioxide that will go to again to the atmosphere. Which process? Respiration. Okay. Then you can see that by decomposers, bacteria and fungi, these green plants and consumers, when they die and decay, you can say that this fungi and bacteria, they decompose this one, and during the process of decomposition again, what will be going out? Here I am writing decomposition. This carbon dioxide will be going back to the atmosphere. Then again another process is happening. See here this, what are the things? These green plants, consumers, etc. This also during fossilization process, when it will change into fossils, what are the products formed? You can say that coal, then oil, gas, etc. So fossil, during the process of fossil formation. Again, what gas will be? You can say that these fossils, when burning, when we are using it as a fuel, and on burning or combustion, you can say combustion, what gas will be going back to the atmosphere? Yes, carbon dioxide gas will be going to the atmosphere. Again, the limestone that is in the water, this limestone, again that also on heating, this carbon dioxide will be again released into the atmosphere. So, this carbon dioxide or the carbon content, carbon dioxide CO2. So, CO2 here carbon. So the movement of the carbon in a cyclic way it goes on, and this is called as carbon cycle, which is you can say that replenishing this carbon dioxide again and again in the atmosphere, that is 0.03% of carbon dioxide again repeating to the atmosphere by this carbon cycle. So I hope that you have understood the experiments based on this one, as well as carbon cycle. Once more, carbon dioxide will be present in the atmosphere, and this carbon dioxide is used by the green plants for photosynthesis, and the green plants again on respiration, the carbon dioxide again goes to the atmosphere back. These green plants, when consumers, other animals and human beings eat as their food, and when these animals respire also, certain amount of carbon dioxide is going back to the atmosphere. Again, when these consumers die and decay, you can say that this fungi and bacteria which act upon this, when the decomposition process is going on also, certain amount of carbon dioxide will be liberating into the atmosphere. And again, you can say that these green plants, consumers, as well as fungi and bacteria, when they undergo the fossilization process, again, when we burn or under combustion, again carbon dioxide will be liberating into the atmosphere. This movement of the carbon dioxide in a cyclic way is called as carbon cycle. That's all, children. Thank you.